to Brunch with Boris.
Let's see. All right, so the first thing I'm just gonna ask you is your associated acts, because I know you have Mike Smith Groove,
Yeah.
but then you're also doing some funky stuff in like Connecticut.
Yes. For the longest time, I've been like collaborating with my buddy Joe, who is a DJ that goes by the name of Doughy Joey in Connecticut.
Doughy Joey.
Yeah, and we've collaborated on a bunch of stuff. We have some music on Spotify, shit like that.
Oh, you sent me some of it actually. It was quite good.
It's fun.
It's funky.
It's funky, exactly.
You put the fun in funky, dude.
He's associated with a lot of like the Connecticut community, so he knows just about everybody. And we've been talking forever. Like we made that song in the beginning of the pandemic. I think it might have even been just before that. And we've been talking about getting a live band together forever because I met everybody in the Connecticut scene through this thing with Joey. So he hits me up, says we went and saw him randomly. I'm gonna go back even further now.
Take us back.
Yeah, he's playing in between the Goose sets at Goosemas 2019, and that's where I'm like, oh, that dude's cool. So I go online, figure he's got a good online presence, and I message him saying like, hey, you want to make some music sometime? And he goes, fuck yeah. So he sends me some clips. We start going back and forth, and he goes, oh, I've got some other people that are going to be, getting in on this. And it ends up being now my friends Ryan and Paul from a band called The Mushroom Cloud.
Oh.
They're like a very dope instrumental, funky jam rock band out of Connecticut too. And we all got together, and that track Boo Manchego is what came out, and that's how I got associated with these guys. And for years I've been going like, let's get a whole band together and do like, because DJ Logic does like a whole thing where he brings out live musicians to play along with him and do the DJ thing on top of it. I said, why the fuck aren't we doing that? That's a very niche thing that people will go see. And he's like, yeah, it'll happen some point. And then he hits me up. He's like, would you want to do a duo gig? Just, after a while, we were like, the gigs are starting to show up again. He goes, you want to play this gig with me? And I was like, absolutely. Let's go do it. Fuck it. Because I'm down to do anything. And I love playing music in general. So I'm associated with, my band plays up there more often times than not in Connecticut because just the market's a lot better up there. And I'm able to, like, even the bar that we played at just gathered more people than even most places in the North Jersey area. So that's part of the reason. Like, it was a packed bar night when we were playing there one night. And on top of that, it's just that there's more music venues. There's like not only bars that have music, but like venues that book bands and like touring acts come through there. So
that's pretty awesome.
Yeah, so I try to play up in that area as much as I can. And Joey's been, he's been down to do the thing forever. So now that the duo opportunity came up, I was like, yeah, let's get it going because that's going to introduce me to even more people now.
Of course.
And the band that we're opening for has the one kid that plays keys in the band that we're opening up for, and I'm probably going to be sitting in with on Friday night. He plays keys and guitar with Ryan Dempsey from Twiddle.
Oh, no shit.
Yeah, so he jams with all these other like really cool fucking musicians. So it's all like a big...
It's 6 degrees of separation, man.
Exactly.
It really is.
It really is. And like that's part of the thing is just meeting and knowing people. So like I'm trying to know as many people as I can in the area where I can sell my product.
Of course. No, it makes sense. It's a lot of times, people don't realize it's such a small world, especially in this music community. Once you get into, meeting musicians and all of a sudden you realize this person knows this person knows, I don't know, it's just weird sometimes like that, like finding out I was 4 steps away from Iggy Pop, I was like, is it really that simple? It's like, it's not anymore,
yeah.
But like it was like, shit, like I guess we really are a tight-knit community. It's just about knowing the right people.
That's it. It's the people that end up, like, actually, it's not people that just jam and hang out on a Friday night. It's like the people that actually, like, perform often, they all know each other.
Yeah.
For the most part.
Definitely.
And especially, it's even more true when it comes to certain scenes. Like, the jam band scene is tight as hell. and like all those musicians know everybody for the most part. They're all friendly, and that's on all levels. That's if you go from like the the smaller bands to the ones that are nationally touring. They're all pretty tight knit.
Yeah, no, definitely.
But then I'm back to that original question. I also play with my other band, Pandemonium, once in a while.
Right on.
We don't play as much anymore, but
Understandable. I mean, who's really playing? I mean, well, apparently you are. But yeah, and what's it called? And then, of course, we have March 12th coming up, which I've had my tickets for a while now.
very excited.
I will be there. I might show up in what's it called? I might show up in, what's the term? My brain, I have no cells left. I've been losing thought all this week. I'm a big wear a mascot costume,
I was gonna say just coming dressed like Dr. John.
Yeah.
Like in his prime, like with the big like Louisiana big hat, looking like a fucking like 10th Street pimp.
I have a pimp costume somewhere. I just got too fat. I can't wear it anymore.
What a night!
It's a purple pimp costume with leopard like trims on it.
Oh, so a pimp named Slickback shit.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Oh yeah, no. And I used to wear it at Spencer's on holidays. I would wear it when I worked at Spencer's Gifts.
Fantastic.
Yeah, and actually, there's a picture. Is it actually? Hold that thought. Yes, we're over here. Here's a picture of me straddling the Easter Bunny wearing it.
Oh boy.
Yeah, you're welcome.
That's fantastic.
So-
Happy Easter.
That's my friend Jay, and I didn't do it to some random Easter. I'm not that crazy that I would just do it to some random Easter Bunny. My friend was the Easter Bunny. Yeah, we'll move on to the next question. All right, so this one, it's 3 separate answers, if you will, if they are separate answers. I'm looking for name an influence on you as a songwriter, an influence on you as a guitarist, and an influence on you as a carpenter. Was it Karen Carpenter, or was it the other one?
It was the other one.
Okay.
That was the other one. It was definitely the other one.
Although
Karen Carpenter's a badass drummer, dude.
Karen, rest in peace, was a fantastic drummer.
Badass drummer.
So I helped you with the Carpenter answer. So
That's
your favorite was Karen. Gotcha. All right.
I'm gonna go Karen on that one. That's definitely the reason I am a carpenter today.
But
the reason
not-
I work with wood is because of Karen Carpenter.
But not John Carpenter.
No.
Okay.
No. I'm not a big horror movie guy.
Have you ever listened to his albums though?
No. Honestly, no.
It's do you like synth? Do you like
Yes.
synthesizer? You would
Yeah.
like his music.
Okay.
I'm actually at this point, don't get me wrong, I'm a horror movie nut job.
Yeah.
I listen to his albums as much as I listen to like average music.
Okay.
It's really good night driving music. Yeah, it's all like he uses all classic synthesizers, and it's all like in his band there's like 3 keyboard players including him, and it's
Okay, I can get down with that. I
yeah,
think.
it's dark spooky synthwave, like the original synthwave.
Like the real deal.
Yeah, he puts out this album called Lost Themes, and they sound like movie scores, but it's just music he writes. And I listen to it way too much, actually. I feel bad for Boo because they have to listen to it with me all the time. But yeah, who would you say? Yeah, I don't know if they're separate. They might be the same answer, but I was going to say influence for your songwriting and influence for your guitar playing.
So for guitar playing, they're both very difficult because I listen to a stupid amount of music.
Which one thing I love about you, because you're very eclectic, and I appreciate that. It's not
too hard sometimes, but I try.
No, you gotta keep expanding the horizons, or sometimes you get stuck, because you might settle and then not keep going anymore.
There's only 2 people that beat me though. It's her and then you.
Oh,
The only 2 people that beat me in that like knowing everything game, and it hits the ego sometimes. And I'm like, you know that, and she's just like, yeah, I've heard it a long time ago. I'm like, no, all right.
so Caprice has always been down.
Exactly. Caprice has always been down with the tunes. But like for songwriting, like my biggest influences, I was raised on the big hippie 3, so the Grateful Dead, the Allman Brothers, and the band. So I've always been I was raised and trained as a blues guitarist. So like guitar influence comes heavily from Jerry Garcia, Duane Allman, Lowell George of Little Feat. Frank Zappa is a huge influence on my music. Not in a way that like I try to imitate his playing. It's more that I try to steal his like tonalities, like the out of phase guitar on the humbuck, like pickups. there's little things that he did with like gear that I really love. It's like I could never come near his songwriting because like composing's a whole different art. I do what sounds good to. I sing what I want to do. Like I make the song through the singing first, and then the melody on guitar kind of falls in after that.
That makes sense.
So, because my first instrument was my voice. I'd been singing my entire life, and then I picked up a guitar at 10. So, I didn't get much songwriting experience until probably 10 years ago I started writing tunes. Maybe.
Shit.
I don't have a lot of songwriting experience, and this is my first like real attempt at doing a whole album's worth of tunes. So, the guitar playing question is like Garcia, George, Zappa. I love George Harrison as a songwriter.
That's my favorite Beatle.
Yeah, he's the best Beatle. And
Thank you.
If anybody wants to dispute that, they can go look in a mirror and talk to themselves. It's not, I don't care. But then as far as like songwriting, it's going to be Harrison. I love the way that Jim Croce wrote music.
Oh, Jim Croce is one of my personal favorites, man. Hell yeah.
Blues, all the blues guys. I mean, it's all like all blues music to a degree is the same shit. So it's all a 12 bar. It's all got some suspended chords. That's really the gist of it. I mean, I can water it down really quickly, but it is crazy diverse in the way that like some of these guys use the timing and their voice and how it all comes together and how it was made with fucking nothing.
Yes.
It came from nothing. It came from old slave songs. And then they built this thing that evolved into what we have now, which is the multi-genre mess that we live in.
Yeah.
So...
how many genres can we mash into one song?
Exactly. But as far as songwriting, I'd probably say like Harrison, because he was rock and roll, but he still kept it poppy. And like I guess I try to do that with my songwriting too, because I don't have any set style. I just write what I like and what I think I would like to hear.
Yeah, that makes sense.
So I write the words out. I kind of write the words as like a poetry style. So everything kind of has a flow and a rhythm, and I thought Harrison did a lot of that too. So if I had to, I would say he would have one of my more major influences. And then Garcia also. He's just a great songwriter.
Well, to agree with what you're saying, not for anything, I could definitely tell that the blues and Garcia were your two biggest influences. Garcia by watching you play guitar, and blues by watching your face when you play guitar. Because that's very much the blues thing. If you don't look like you're in pain when you're playing, you're not playing the blues.
Play with the heart.
Yeah, exactly.
I don't know music. I just play what sounds good and it comes out.
I do the polar opposite. I do the play with my eyes closed, and I sometimes drool on myself. I've caught myself drooling on myself. Not with Will Wood, but like with Deja Gravy when I'm doing the stoner stuff.
Drone shit.
I have caught myself drooling on myself, but thank God we play in the dark, so usually people don't notice. But there's been a couple times where people were like, "Did you drool at one point?" And I'm like, No. Fuck you, no.
I do it all the time, so
yeah.
Nobody catches me.
I don't need to do it on stage. I do it at home too. All right. So this will be a fun one, and it doesn't have to be one. You can give a couple.
Okay.
Album you will never get tired of. An album you do not get tired of. Like an album that you find yourself listening to for like the 50th time this year, but it doesn't feel like it because, if there is an album like that. I don't know.
As of late, there's a couple of them. I will always and forever listen to Frank Zappa's Shake Your Booty from front to back because that's just a fun fucking album.
That one you can't stop in the middle of. You have to go through it.
It's like Apostrophe. Apostrophe is a story album. You have to start beginning to end or it doesn't make sense. It's one big song.
Of course.
And then Caprice and I spend the majority of our time together, and she has turned me on to way more disco than I used to be into.
Nice.
So I would say probably the next album up would be ABBA's Greatest Hits.
Ooh, okay.
Just because I'm realizing how much, Fish ripped off fucking ABBA, dude. So hard in, their, what album? I forget. I think it was Sigma Oasis or Big Boat. They ripped off the da-da-da, 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 da-da-da.
Oh, yeah.
So what is that? SOS?
I don't know.
Okay. Either way, but it's one of the more popular ABBA tunes, and at the end of their like chorus,
Yeah.
they have this little. It is SOS. So there's a bridge where in one of the lo-fi Page McConnell tunes off of Big Boat
Yeah.
has that exact same melodic line. It's like fucking note for note.
I can't remember offhand. I'm going to have to go through my text messages, but I actually found a punk song that Fish ripped off, and I can't remember what it was. Because I texted Ricky, and he's like, "You're fucking high," and I'm like, "I am," but
That's not the conversation topic.
it was. I know the Fish song was Reba.
Okay.
It's the jazz part in the middle.
Mhm.
There's what song? It'll come back to me, but there's a melody in the, or maybe it was Tweezer. It was one of the two. It was one of like the bigger known songs, but there's like a melody in the middle of it,
Uh-huh.
and it's from something else that I listened to. I'm 95% sure it was a punk song, and I was like, wait, because I even played it for Boo, and Boo goes, "Okay, you're not crazy. That's a thing."
That's the thing. Yeah.
And then yeah,
Well, you know what they say. It's the good musicians create, and then the great musicians steal.
yeah.
That
means Led Zeppelin's the best.
every single chord progression in the songs that I write has been played before. It's nothing
definitely.
new. I'm just writing my own words to something that I'm playing how I want. I'm sure somebody's gonna go copyright infringement. I'm gonna go, whatever.
Yeah.
Stop me.
Stop me. Dude, actually, I had something similar happen with Deja Gravy. Really fucking weird. And it's related to Full of Hell, of all things. I wrote these songs for a split with Please Exist. We record them. We mix them. They're getting mastered. This is around the time that I was really nosediving into Full of Hell.
Mm-hmm.
I put on their second album, and we have the same drum rhythm for a song. And at first, I kind of panicked. And I was like, "Oh my god, I stole this!" Like, but I never heard this album before.
Right.
But I stole this, and I'm going through it in my head, and then I realized I was ripping off the Melvins, and so was Full of Hell.
Correct.
So if anyone comes at me and goes, "You stole that from Full of Hell," I'm gonna say, "No, I stole that from the Melvins, and so did they."
Melvin stole it from somebody before that. It just sounded
Yeah.
way different than the way they interpreted it.
That's yeah.
It's
Well,
everybody's interpretation.
definitely. Well, what reminded me was I was watching a Full of Hell video, and the guitarist was wearing a Melvins shirt. I'm like, "Oh, there it is! It all makes sense now because I did steal this from Dale Crover." Okay.
They're
But-
so good.
Yeah.
They're so good.
I've seen them. They're the band I've seen the most besides Secret Chiefs 3. I've seen Melvins 11 times, and that's part of the reason I have hearing damage.
I'm sure.
And I wore earplugs, and it was still that loud.
I know. Huh. You gotta like double up with fucking the muffs over the plugs.
Yeah.
It's like fucking using a chainsaw for 3 hours straight, dude. You can't do that.
Somehow they were still louder than Sun, though.
I don't believe that.
No, Sun, well, because Sun, a lot of their stuff is bass. It's subwoofery.
Okay, yeah.
Don't get me wrong, Sun is loud, but it's not uncomfortably loud. Swans was uncomfortably loud.
I heard that.
The Melvins, the first time I saw them, was uncomfortably loud. God, I saw Damage Plan the one time, and Vinnie Paul's snare was so loud it felt like someone was shooting a gun every time he hit it. That.
Gary Clark Jr. was uncomfortably loud in a fucking 2,000 person theater.
Nah,
How do you do that? That's hard.
that is.
It's hard.
All right, we were talking about that last time because that's when I talked about Leslie West and we left.
Yeah, exactly.
Fucking guy.
But I mean, that's how they did it back then. You had to just turn it up all the way. That's why they
Yeah.
were so just fucking loud all the time. Always dependent on their volume.
It's true.
But they only Leslie West. He just went straight into either a super bass or a.
Oh, he had sons at one point.
Yeah, he was playing Sons, but he also he favored a Marshall super bass,
Oh, yeah.
a modified Marshall super bass where it was both channels marked. I'm pretty sure it was both were tied together. I don't know.
Oh, nice. I have a Marshall bass amp over there, but I blew it out. I need to get new shit in it. It's buried in all that stuff.
Oh.
I'll show you after this.
There's a bunch of PV stuff too.
Huh?
I
Oh,
like
yeah.
PV
Yeah,
stuff.
that one, it's 2 12s and an 18 or something like that.
Fuck.
Yeah.
That's a lot.
Yeah, no, I don't use it because it's that
Move some
loud.
air.
Yeah, that was some serious air. That is interesting with the ABBA though. That's really funny. No, I mean, because Boo and I, not ABBA. We've been listening to a lot of Bee Gees.
Yeah.
We're together. We've been listening to a lot of Bee Gees and a lot of because when Boo's not around, I'll listen to the Grateful Dead and Full of Hell.
Yeah.
And they don't mind either of those bands, but but then when we're together, it's like let's listen to the Beach Boys and Bee Gees. Like, all right, cool, sounds great. Like,
We jump all over the place. Like the one day we started the morning with I put on a Jean-Luc Ponty record. and then we proceeded to move over to. Oh shit! I think we moved over to something poppier, and then we went to like a Motown record, and then I switched over to we put on some like newer like house music or something like that.
Oh,
Like,
nice.
I love electronic music.
Who was the Jean-Luc one you mentioned?
Jean-Luc Ponty.
Yeah.
He played with Zappa.
Oh, okay.
He was the violin player.
No shit.
The electric violin.
Yeah, yeah.
Jean-Luc Ponty's a monster.
No, that's
You gotta borrow that record. Next time you come over to my house, I'm gonna let you borrow that record because
Alright.
that's a good listen.
definitely.
That's a very good listen.
I'd rather listen to it on record than on digital if I had the chance.
I'm sure.
Like, if you send me an album on Spotify, I'll still listen to it. But if you
Yeah.
go, hey, borrow this record, I'm definitely gonna listen to
No,
it.
no, that's. I want you to listen to the record version of it because it's just so good.
So
It's
warm.
So good.
Is that dog dead? Are you alive? Ricky? No.
She's breathing.
Uh-oh. There we go.
Why'd you do that?
She gets upset when I say Ricky.
She not like him?
Oh, no, she gets excited.
Oh.
That's her boy. That's her boyfriend.
Oh.
Oh, yeah. That and Kevin. But you don't get... She's not used to the name Kevin yet.
That's a priest too. She's like the same way. Her brother's name's Kevin.
I didn't know you had a brother. All these years I've known you.
I know, right?
All right, so this is going to be a really hard question.
Uh-huh.
Probably the hardest question of the whole interview, and we're about halfway through.
Okay.
So, what is your Taco Bell flavor sauce of choice?
Diablo.
Diablo? Okay.
Done and done. It's
Done and done, just making
hotness,
sure.
dude. The speed of hot. This quickness with the sickness. You know what I'm saying?
What do you normally get when you're there? What's your go-to? Something you don't get tired of there that you're just like, yeah, that's gonna hit the spot.
Cheesy gordita crunch.
Okay, cool.
It's open.
If it's fucking open.
What do you mean?
He has struck out every time we've tried to go to Taco Bell lately. They've been closed.
No way.
Even once there was like this 8x10 piece of computer paper just taped to the intercom.
Oh
and it was
no.
like, due to certain circumstances, Taco Bell will be closed today.
At 9:30, it was like 9:45. I'm like, motherfucker!
Oh my
I
god.
was so excited to go.
I just wanted a taco.
And which Taco Bell is this? Is this out by you?
That was Franklin, yeah.
Oh,
It's,
okay.
It's the sticks, dude. You can't expect.
Yeah.
I don't blame anybody for not wanting to work in a fast food joint anymore, you know?
The one here in Mansfield, I actually watched, I guess it was a walkout. But long story short, I was online for a half hour and none of the cars moved. But I was stuck because I had cars behind me and cars in front of me.
Oh.
And at one point, people got out of their cars and were inside trying to fight the employees as employees are walking out. And the one guy comes out and he's like, yo, we all got another fucking half hour wait. And everyone's like, what? And all the cars start backing out. And yeah, we were there for about 45 minutes. And,
Jesus Christ.
and they still didn't even take our order. We were sitting at the window for 20 minutes waiting for them to take the order.
Just for them to stop arguing?
Yeah, I guess kids were walking out. They were walking out. I hear it's shit management at that one. But, yeah, we ended up... Then we went to Moe's. We walk inside Moe's across the street.
Yeah.
And they yell at us and they go, we're closed. And it's like, so why is the front door unlocked? I don't know, but we're closed. Get the fuck out. And I'm like, yeah, I'll be calling your management. See you later. I didn't actually call the management, but you didn't have to curse at me, dick.
Good night, dildo.
Yeah, seriously. Yeah, we struck out with burritos that night. No Taco Bell, no Moe's. And it was only 8:30 at night. It was super early. It was super early still.
World's crazy now, man.
Yeah.
But again, I don't blame a single person for not wanting to work in a fast food joint.
Well, this is pre-pandemic.
No, that's even worse.
This is 2019. The only reason I remember that is because Kevin was here. Yeah, he was actually here for my mom's services. But that was 2019. Shit. Yeah, because I remember we're like, yeah, let's go get burritos. We just spent a bunch of money on records at Main Street Jukebox. Money that we don't have. Let's go buy burritos and celebrate. And
Oh, yeah.
actually, you should hit them up. Main Street Jukebox.
Yeah.
Because for Record Store Day every year, they have bands playing the store.
Yeah, my buddy Sean, who plays in Lorg, they played there a few years back.
I know Lorg, but I don't know why I know Lorg. Where are they from?
The Sussex County area.
I think I played... Deja Gravy has definitely played shows
They're
with
a
them.
very talented group of jackasses, and I love them so much.
It sounds like people I would hang out with. Yeah, no.
We, the one day they invited me up to jam with them, and they have a song called Drunk Girl, and somebody made an online bet with them that they couldn't do that song for an hour straight. So they brought in a rotating group of people, and we did an hour-long rendition of that song.
Oh, jeez.
It was bad.
It's...
It was bad in the best way, but it was like they they put on some good gags every once in a while. They're very talented musicians. Brett plays drums. They have a keyboard player that
Keyboarder.
a keyboard player who is also very talented. His name is escaping. I think his name is Brandon, if I'm not mistaken.
Mhm.
And then they have a rotating cast of bass players, but they're all very, very talented musicians.
Oh, right on.
But they've done that before, and I should get in contact with them. That's a good
Yeah,
call.
especially because you're playing already down the road.
Yeah.
See, I'm doing the opposite right now. They just announced Circle Jerks is playing at the Sherman Theater April 11th. It's Circle Jerks, 7 Seconds, and Negative Approach.
Whoa.
I'm trying to get all those bands to go hang out at Main Street Jukebox because it's like, hey, if you need something to do before, after sound check,
Come hang out over here because there's records and shit. It's such a cool shop.
I really enjoy that. Actually, he's going to be selling my severed heads there soon.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, I have some upstairs for him. I have to make a drive out to Pennsylvania this week
Yeah.
and buy records I don't need.
Yeah, Stroudsburg.
Yeah, that's where I'm trying to move. So
It's a good spot, man.
yeah,
It's a good spot to go to. It's far from everything, yet close from everything. And there's some cool apartments in there, too.
yeah. Actually, on that note, I found a house in your neighborhood for sale.
Yeah, which one?
I can pull it up after this, but it was a website I follow, a group on Facebook where it's like for the love of old homes.
Yeah.
They posted it for sale on there, and I'm like, it's only 120,000. Yeah, because I put it in Google Maps, and I still had your address saved because I don't leave the house that often. And I did it. It said 5 minutes from your house. I'm like, I could be Mikey's neighbor.
Everything's 5 minutes from me in there, dude.
Yeah. Well, I told Boo, and they're down. So who knows? Maybe we'll take that house in New Jersey, and we'll be your neighbor.
It's too expensive, man.
That's
Taxes.
taxes.
The whole neighborhood's going up now.
Ah, man.
Sucks.
Because I know a lot of the houses around there seem to be abandoned.
Less than you'd think. It's more
Okay.
like they're summer communities. It's summer houses. A lot of summer houses in there. So
I didn't realize that.
there's places in there that don't have wells. They're connected to a lake water system because the lake has its own reservoir system up on top of the mountain, and it feeds down. It has a pump house where it pressurizes and they clean all the water, and then that's what they feed to all the houses in the summer.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Interesting.
So only half the houses in the lake are full season.
Does that mean your poop goes in the lake?
No, most
Okay.
people either have septics or cesspools. Which there's probably poop in that lake, yeah. Because there's a lot of cesspools in Lake Wallkill, but
There's poop in everything.
I never get sick, so I think the water's cool, man.
Hey, I don't swim. Don't worry. I'm a total cat person.
Yeah.
I've never been much of a swimmer.
You're a ground cat.
Huh?
You're a ground cat. I
Yeah.
understand.
I was a swimmer when I was a kid, and then I got older, and I was like, oh, being wet? This is weird. Yeah?
I love it. I would live in the pool if I could.
If you get a few drinks of me, I'll get in the water, but until then...
He's a fucking mermaid after a couple alkies.
Yeah. Until I forget how to swim, and I'm in the deep end going, I'm fine. I'm fine. Everything's great.
It's fine.
Oh, man. I asked you to talk about question. Oh, yeah. So, the new album. Who is on the new album? Who is your backing band? Who's doing the what, the diddly, and who's the what now?
So for the recording part of everything, I've been working close with my buddy Mike Carfey, who is in a band called Squire's Cape.
Okay.
It's a lot of like Pink Floyd, Tame Impala type of like rock and roll shit. And
Cool.
It's really airy synth leads. Like when I post that picture of all my gear next to all those keyboards and shit.
Oh, yeah.
That's all Carf stuff. He's
okay.
he's a monster, dude. He's very talented. He's got the skills to do what we need to do. So for the most part, I'm doing all the guitars and vocals, and then he's filling in on the bass and the drums. And we're gonna see how the mixes come out as far as that. If I need to retrack like some drums and stuff, because I was originally going to release on March 12th, but I just decided that that's just going to be the live release of it, and I'm gonna play it live. This is the album. Y'all heard it now. I'm not gonna have any physical copies until everything's. I'm kind of a perfectionist sometimes, but I'm lackadaisical with certain aspects of it. But like, if it doesn't sound the way that I want it to sound, I'm not gonna put it out.
I don't blame you. If you're not happy with it, then what's the point?
Exactly. So like, I don't want
That's
to.
lighter.
Absolutely.
Thank you.
And as far as like the recording stuff, it's he's doing the drums and the bass, and any like synth or organs or stuff that we throw on top of that. And if it needs to be redubbed when it needs to be done, I'll bring in my drummer Dakota.
Nice.
But for as far as the live band, we're just gonna be rocking it for a power trio as is for right now until I can find somebody to do some more like permanent keys, or a saxophone would be really cool, or maybe some keys and a saxophone all in one guy. But you know, talented people are they're everywhere, but everybody just plays fucking guitar these days. So.
Well, that and what I've also noticed in the past myself, at least, with like trying to find a keyboardist or a sax player or something, sometimes they just don't like the music you're doing. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like I've found keyboardists, and like I've been looking for one for Deja Gravy since we formed in 2013.
Right.
And they hear what type of music we play, and they're like, "Oh, because you know they don't get to go Keith Emerson on the song, because they just get to hold chords and kind of like space out with me." And you know they're too talented. I meet keyboardists and they're too talented. But you're just like, yeah, you meet a sax player and you go, oh, we're a jam band. Oh, I don't really want to jam. I would rather do jazz. You know, like, that's the other thing. Even if you find a musician, you have to hope they're into the same thing you're into, you know, which makes it even harder.
My scene is really filled with a lot of... The keyboarders get picked up... Keyboard players get picked up...
That's your new word.
Yeah.
Keyboarder.
They get picked up really quickly, man. And, like... And I don't blame them. Like, there's a lot of great people playing out there. It's just I have a lot of trouble finding people that play and that are interested in playing as frequently as I'm playing. And then there's people that just don't understand what it takes to play in a band. So there's people that are like, they know what they're doing. They know how to play the keys. But there's the band dynamic. Like, they come from, like, a classical background. And they might not understand, like, the band dynamic of, like... getting spacey or opening up chords and airing things out and like making it a space rather than just like playing a song note for note.
Yeah.
So the way I approach music is really jam bandy. Like I go at it where it's like, okay, it's me. I'm gonna do my thing. I'm going to have these people that are very talented with me. They're going to do their thing, and it's all going to come together in this beautiful, bigger thing. But if you don't have that, like, if you can't handle your shit, like, in the sense that you, like, if you don't have, like, I'm trying to say this in, like, a non-pretentious way, because it's, like, it makes me sound like an asshole.
No, go for it, dude.
But, like, if you go into things, like, being in a band, and, like, say, especially with jam bands, because the improv is, like, the most important thing, in, like, because it's in the fucking name.
Yeah.
And, like, some people don't like to use the term, I'm not in a jam band, I'm in a progressive rock band. Oh, shut up.
Do you improv during your songs? Yes, then you're a fucking jam band.
Do you have long sections of just, like, airy stuff? Yeah. Do fucking house musicians jam sometimes? Yes, they do! Mm-hmm. Dude, it's... But if you're going into this and you're playing in a band that's going to be playing out and you don't know how to handle your instrument, you just got to practice more. That's really it. It's not anything that anybody knows how to do. It's not like a God-given knowledge. Performance isn't really a God-given thing. That's something you need to learn through trial and error.
Yeah, exactly.
How to do it on yourself. How to do it on your own. And, like, who is this person that I'm becoming on the stage? who is this mask that I'm wearing? Like, it's not like I'm not one of those guys that goes by a different name or anything on stage. It's me. But, like, what is my stage persona as opposed to, I'm the guy who likes to hang out with my dogs at the house. So,
yeah.
Some people just don't have that, like, stage persona. And that's a bigger, harder thing to find than anything else. So, like,
yeah,
I've been blessed enough to find my buddy Evan Tosi. He plays with a band called Canopy. They're from Connecticut as well. Great, like, progressive jam band. They go deep, dude.
Nice.
And he is a fantastic musician. Plays drums. You would actually like Evan a lot because he's real into, like, he's into rock and roll. He plays sitar, and he plays drums and bass. And he really loves, like, Mastodon and fucking Meshuggah and, like, shit like that. So,
nice.
Like, he likes that, like, deep, like, ancient rhythmic type shit.
Oh, yeah.
But he's a very talented musician, and I got hooked up with him through my buddy Ryan Berry, who plays bass with the Mushroom Cloud, who I met through Doughy Joey. So, like, again, this is like I'm expanding the world of people that I know, and I'm blessed to know some really good people. And, like, he's a hired gun. I got to pay him every time he comes out to play with us. if that's what it takes to make the dream happen, I got to make the dream happen no matter what. So
Oh, definitely.
I'm just hungry right now, I guess you'd say. I want to do it.
Yeah.
If I can make it happen, I'd love to make it happen.
No, it's true. Dude, you gotta do what you gotta do. Whether it be, you gotta shell some money out. Some people are so against that. It's like, I hate the saying, but it's true. Sometimes you do have to spend money to make money type deal.
Takes it to make it.
Yeah, and some people, they don't get that. They're like, I want to spend my own money. And it's like, that's cool. But, it's going to be a little slower, I mean, like, I try to, as you probably know yourself, I mean, you try to sell band merch in hopes that you could, like, maybe fund the next album. But sometimes you don't sell as much as you think you're going to. And it's like, okay, well, it wasn't as much as we thought. It was only a third of what we owe. But,
Right.
What? So or do you just want to send these songs for 5 years, hoping that one day the merch pays for it, or do you just want to take a little bit out of our paychecks and do it? Like, what's the big fucking deal? I don't know. Some people are just really against that, and it's like we shouldn't have to spend our own money. Then don't. But don't be in a band with me.
So you don't believe in yourself, then you don't want to invest in yourself.
Yeah, exactly. Invest in yourself. There you go.
Exactly. I from day one, everything I've done is self-funded.
Yeah.
All of my shit is self-funded. The gigs I play, like, for the most part for the last 10 years, the most money I've ever made in a night with a band is $400. That's a good night.
That's a good night. Yeah.
If everybody makes, $100 for the evening, that's a cool night. I'm not bad. And then free beer on top of that, sure, that's a cool night. But, like, when it comes to, like, making records and merch and, like, wanting to take it to the next step of things, there's a part of it that's just the business aspect of it and thinking, like, I've never done merch either. Everything I've done is self-funded, but I've never had merch.
Oh shit! Yeah, that's where a lot of money goes, because you have to. That's the other thing. Where does the merch money come from? That comes from your pockets.
That's all self-funded too. Yeah. So like that's just another step. I was looking into just how much it would cost me to print CDs.
Yeah.
And that's actually relatively cheap now.
Yeah, especially if you use CD, baby.
That's it. Like $175, I can get a full sleeved 100 of my CD. It's just the business aspect of it, I guess, is the part that I'm trying to like wrangle into, because it's like I love playing music, but I would also like to do this as a job.
Yeah.
I would like to make my performance, like, if there's people that would come out and see me sing and play a guitar, then I would like to do that if that's feasibly possible for me to. But now I'm at a spot where I've set up my life, because of the house and everything, is I'm in a certain spot where I have to keep going, working. So I'm living this double life.
Yeah.
So until the one thing picks up, I got the other thing going on too. So they continuously butt heads with each other.
Of course.
And that's why I've taken a little bit more time. Oh, I've had more time. I'm not really taking it off. I've had more time lately. That's why this is getting done. Finally. Because I have the time to do it. And like, I had a couple bumps in the road because Carpy's family got sick. They got COVID. Everybody's fine, thankfully.
Yeah.
And then his beautiful baby boy was blessed with this world. Baby Roland came into this world. So it was we had a couple things that slowed us down, and then we got back into it the other night. We tracked 2 of the songs right out of the bat. 2 of the guitars were done. So all in all, I'm probably going to end up coming out with a 7-track album. Just I don't know if that qualifies as an LP at that point. It might be just a long EP.
7.
I don't know who
I guess it depends on how long it is.
It's probably going to still hit 25 minutes, I imagine.
Yeah.
I don't care. It's just going to be called Big Sound. So
Yeah, exactly. Call it what you will, man.
I'm going to let other people call it what they want it. It doesn't really matter if it's a long play or an extended play, because those are outdated terms anyway. But
yeah, that's true.
I'm putting out 7 songs of my music. Is what it looks like it's going to be.
Yeah. That makes sense to me.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, I mean, because that's been an argument. It just got me thinking. Because, like, in the sleep group I'm part of, people argue all the time, is Dope Smoker an album or is it a single? Because it's only one song, it's an hour, and then, depending on which version you got, it's either a live version of, what's it called? Sonic Titan, or a live version of Holy Mountain, depending on which version you get.
Right.
But it's like, it still counts as a single, though, because the single is side A and side B. Now, granted, Dope Smoker can't fit on side A of a record, but I mean, it's still technically only 2 tracks. So is it an album? Is it a single? That's been an online debate forever, and I think it's just I don't think about it too much, but I think it's funny, you
It's
know?
bullshit. It's just people getting too serious about, like, you can't take it too seriously. You got to be kind of serious, but
Yeah.
don't take life too seriously.
I think the original poster was just having fun, like, hey guys, what do you think?
Right.
But then, like, some people just got so defensive about it and, like, going by definition, and it's like,
There's a lot of people out there like that.
yeah.
The music world has its appreciators and its giant buttheads, too.
Well, that's one thing I will say about the sleep group, because I'm one of the moderators. We don't put up with bullying, and we don't put up with, like one of the number one rules in the group, like when you sign up, it says don't be a dick. So like that's a rule we enforce all the time, because like someone will, I don't know, because we say you can post anything you want there, and like someone will post, I don't know, like King Crimson. They'll post King Crimson. And then there's always one asshole that goes, I thought this was a sleep group.
Right.
And we delete the comment, we message the guy, and we go, if we just hit the rule 3, don't be a dick, and we send it to him, and that's when he gets a message. And it's like, we're not here to do that.
Yeah.
We're here to talk music. Like, yes, we're all here because we enjoy sleep and we enjoy,
That's what brought us together. There's more
Yeah.
things in the world than that.
Yeah, well, that's the other fun thing.
That's what fucking kills me with Fish fans, dude.
Oh, God. Fish
But we
fans
don't
are-
have to get into that today,
No.
because I have Fish tattoo. I can't do that.
Is that what that is?
Well, it's a reference to a Fish song, yeah.
Which song?
That's Rutherford the Brave. That's from the Lizards.
No shit.
Yeah.
Oh, right on.
And then there's Greg and Dwayne.
Oh, shit. Okay.
Rapunzel, Dancing Bear,
That's awesome.
Begonias. You know,
I think last time we hung out, you were wearing a hoodie, so I
Mo
didn't
Pig.
see any of the... What's going there?
Buster from Mo.
Oh, nice.
He's gonna be a flying pig with a leather cap.
Nice.
It'll be cool. He'll just be extra filler for the cool sleeve, and then that's gonna be pretty much it.
Nice. Fucking A, dude. I'm down with that. Let's see. Where are we at? Actually, one of the questions was how many songs, but you just said 7.
There you go.
How much coffee was consumed during the making of this album?
On average, 2 pots a song.
2 pots a song.
That's usually what it takes me.
And how many songs do you normally do in a day?
For writing, I could be working at 2 or 3 songs in a given moment. The way my brain works is I'll like have an idea, and then my ADD will kick in, and I'll be like, something over here. So I'll be playing a riff and be like, yeah, that's pretty cool. I'll play like a little vamp, and then, yeah, that's cool, and I'll write it down, and then I'll be doing something, and I'll come back and like do something different. I'm like, oh, that's in a totally different key than the last song, so I guess we'll be writing a new one then, and I'll write down the vamp from that one, and then I'll bounce around on that for like a week.
Oh, yeah.
So like once I have those like different rhythms down, sometimes I work backwards. I'll do it with the lyrics first, and then I'll add a rhythm to it, and then I'll like the first song on the record is gonna be called "Feel," and that song I wrote by doing the riff first, and then I wrote the words to it. So that one I just figured it out.
Is it spelled Pheel?
No, it's not.
It's about how terrible Fish fans are. It's called Feel.
Yeah.
Because they don't feel anything.
I feel like they need to stop.
I feel it's
I feel like I would enjoy the band more if they just toned it down like 2 notches.
I was talking to it was Ricky. I was talking to Ricky. The only way I feel like a true Deadhead is by hating other Deadheads, in a sense. You know what I mean? Because like I
You're a
love.
modern Deadhead.
Huh?
That's the modern Deadhead.
Yeah, I think that's the thing. I don't think half these deadheads realize, like, if you don't hate each other, you're not actually a deadhead. Because I've never gone to see the Dead live or anything like that because I'm afraid I'm going to end up killing everybody.
Well, it's a lot less, like, Dead and Company's a different story, but, like, I have seen every rendition of, like, I was very young, I was 3 years old, but I saw The Dead with Jerry.
Ooh.
I've seen The Dead, like, with Jimmy Herring and Bob Weir.
Oh, yeah.
That was The Dead in the 2000s. Then you had Further, which was Bobby Weir and Phil Lesh playing with John Kadlesic from
Oh, Dark Star?
Dark Star.
That's right.
And what's his name? Jay, the keys player, Jeff Chimento.
Chimenti?
Jeff Chimenti, that's what it is.
Yeah, because I know he also plays with Les Claypool.
Correct.
Yep.
And then Jay Lane has also played drums with Primus, and all
He was
that.
the original drummer.
Yeah.
The original drummer
Yeah,
of
yeah.
Primus.
So
Which blows my mind. Every time I've seen Primus, it's been with him. I have never seen Primus with their original drummer.
Larry?
I never saw him with Tim Alexander.
Really?
Yeah, but because by the time I got into Primus when I was in high school, but back then I didn't have a way to go see Primus because my parents didn't like the city and they never played in New Jersey at the time.
Yeah.
So by the time I had a car and was able to get to the city to see Primus is when Jay Lane was back and Tim was chilling.
Doing his thing.
And I've seen Primus, I think, 6 times, and all 6 times Jay Lane was the drummer. And I'm not complaining, but I really would like to see Herb one day.
We'll go see him. He's back now, so we'll go. I almost got us tickets, but I didn't have the money to get them. Somebody offered to sell me for $50 a head to Montclair.
They're playing at Montclair?
They're playing at the State Theater, dude.
Really? Is this the Rush Tour thing? Okay, right on.
So that would be very tight to see, but I didn't have $200 to give to the lady at the time.
No, I don't blame you. Hey, we'll figure it out.
We'll find some Primus time. I'm sure. I'm overdue for a Les Claypool session.
Definitely. Yeah, I haven't seen him. Maybe the fun guy in Vator. All together, I've seen him 13 times, but I've seen Primus 6 times.
6 times, you said?
Yeah, Primus 6, his other band 7. Because I saw Colonel Claypool's Bucket of Bernie Brains, their one and only tour.
Jealous.
That was my first Claypool show, and I got Contact High. I was straight edge back then, and I got Contact High.
Fuck.
Then, what's it called? I saw...
Rest in peace, Bernie, by the way.
Yeah, right? Rest in peace, Bernie, the man. We were watching Talking Heads Stop Making Sense, and I'm like, there he is. There he is in all of his fucking glory.
Such a good album.
Oh, yeah.
Such a good movie. Like, I listened... That's actually an album I listened... Talking Heads is a huge... Back to the original. Talking Heads, another massive influence on me. David Byrne's writing, his songwriting, his content of what he writes about, and then the people that he has had play with him over the years.
Oh, yeah.
Adrian Belew, he's played with Zappa too. There's more like dude. The Talking Heads are more associated with Zappa than most other bands, and that's what's fucking cool about him.
That's awesome.
And then you have Bernie, who was just a killer synth player. And then you had David, who's an immense songwriter and, like, just fucking performer.
And I want to say the bassist's name is Tina, but I'm a little out there right now.
It is Tina.
Yeah, no, because with the bass you helped me fix.
Yeah.
When I was getting ready to go into the studio, whenever I'm ready to go, if it's electric day for going in the studio with Will, I listen to Talking Heads to get her in my head because I want to play like that.
Yeah. And
then I listen to Greg Cohen on the days when I'm doing upright bass. But, she's... I think she's a very underrated bass player in a sense because, I don't know, it's just, I feel like Talking Heads are a little underrated in a sense, you know what I mean? Because, obviously people like you and I, we know what they are, we know Stop Making Sense, but I've talked to people before, I bring up Talking Heads, they're like, oh yeah, that Burning Down the House band, and it's like, oh, like you need to go a little deeper, you need to go get 77 and smoke a joint and get back to me.
Well, that's like... normies don't listen to music the same. There's people that just... I've met people that don't like music.
Yeah.
And I looked them in the eyes and I said, I honestly don't think we can be friends. And I meant it, like, seriously. I was like, so do you not feel like... Do you have a disorder where the sound doesn't process? Because there's different things where I understand.
Yeah.
But, like, if you're just a person who casually does not like music, you are a fucking psychopath. You are someone that probably peeled apart bugs as a kid and then fucking probably tried to do it to the cat once or twice.
Oh, jeez.
Dude, I'm telling you, like, that doesn't make any sense because there is so much music in the world to fit anyone's like fucking corner, whatever you want.
Yeah.
There's something to tickle your fancy no matter what.
Well,
so, you just gotta find it. Just dig deeper. Like you said, dig deeper.
People are lazy, man. And not to get too harsh on this subject, but I mean, that's something I feel like you would understand as well, being a music lover. One thing that fucking kills me to a degree that, like, I can already feel my skin getting hot. But no, just, I hate it and love it at the same time when people sit there and they go, like, rock is dead, or like metal's not good anymore, or this. It's like you listen to the radio and you maybe follow a couple pages on Instagram, and it's like rock and roll is alive and well. It's just not on the radio. It's not on TV. There are plenty of bands that still carry the torch and do it right. It's just, unless you do the research, you're not going to find it. I can't tell you how many people like my father's age I fought with over this. gotta try to explain to them, like, rock and roll is alive and well, and it's like, maybe it's not the rock and roll you grew up with, so that nostalgia feeling's not there,
Right.
but it still exists, and, like, you know, same thing with metalheads, like, the only good metal was in the 80s, nothing good happened in the 90s, and it's like, I really fucking beg to differ, because there was a lot of good metal in the 90s.
Awesome thrash metal right now.
Right?
Thrash metal is so hot right now, dude.
It's back, the 80s are back, and I mean, and some people are pissed about that, they're like, what is this, the 80s revival? This is like...
You guys were complaining about one thing, and now you don't want the thing that you're being given, which is the one thing that you were asking for? You want the thing that you loved most back? Here it is!
I'm having a flashback now to Star Wars fans.
Oh, dude.
This movie's not too much like the original. This movie's not close enough to the original.
This movie is the original. Somebody pick a thing. Shut up.
If somebody... Oh, but yeah, no, that's... especially with music. I don't know, it's just one thing that kills me, because...
People are lazy.
Yeah.
That's why you gotta force it in their face.
Yeah, you know, it's either... If you don't want to do the research, that's fine, but just, you know, don't then sit there and claim to know things, you know, don't...
Right.
I did my research. Like, yeah, just... You probably did.
Right. You watched the YouTube video.
Yeah. Yeah, what'd that bald guy with the glasses say? What did he tell you this week? What did he tell you how to feel?
Pretty upset. He was upset in his truck.
Oh, oh god, those videos. That's even better. Oh, man. Let's see. I got Dunkin' Donuts ad. That's nice.
Nice.
Nice. All right. So, about what season did you stop watching The Simpsons?
Oh God, you're gonna make me get shot online, aren't you? If I don't stop watching The Simpsons.
Okay.
That's the right answer.
Cool.
Because it's still a pretty good show. You know, the writing is just following a lot of other comedy shows of the day now because they ran out of good material at season 10. But we can argue with that later on.
That's what's going to get you shot right there.
Yeah.
It's not from me, the other people. They're going to be outside waiting after this.
No, I like my favorite seasons are between like 5 and 10.
Right on.
But I'll still watch it now.
Yeah.
You know.
A
lot of it's aged really well, which is the funniest part to me. Is like it aged better than like the Family Guy stuff. I'm watching Family Guy stuff, and I'm like, oh, I used to think that was hilarious.
Yeah.
I'm a bad person.
I could still watch, I'll say, maybe the first 2 or 3 seasons of Family Guy and not feel that guilty because it wasn't that bad. But then after that, it kind of starts to like, I don't know.
It's cheap shots. They just take cheap shots.
Yeah, and well, one thing I always say, because I mean, that used to be my favorite show. Nowadays, I'll be lucky if I watch like 5 episodes a year.
Right.
One thing that I think really killed the show was once they broke the fourth wall. Because like the first 2 seasons, it was still a sitcom. It was like The Simpsons. They weren't aware that they were a TV show.
Yeah.
And then the second they were aware they're a TV show, they're like, well, we can do whatever the fuck we want now. And that's when all the shit went down, essentially.
It's all the cutscenes, all that weird shit.
Yeah. Actually, although I will admit, back in the day, I played a drinking game where I would do a shot every time there was a cutaway in Family Guy, and after 1.5 episodes, I was pissed drunk.
Hammered
Hammered.
yeah. drunk.
Jack Daniels.
There's cutscenes in the cutscenes sometimes, dude. Oof,
Yeah. I was very brave and dumb when I was a kid. What can I say? But, no, and I understand why people say that about season 10 of The Simpsons, though. You know, it's there was a golden era.
Yeah.
It's just,
All shows have it.
Yeah, definitely.
But they wouldn't still be on TV if people weren't watching it, so.
That's true. No,
Being a salty cunt.
This
That's bad.
Yeah. Dude, there we go. At first I was waiting for you to be like, I don't watch The Simpsons, which still would have been a fine answer, because I'm not holding a gun against anyone's head. I'm not groaning.
It's actually one of my favorite shows.
Yeah, I've always wanted a Ralph Wiggum tattoo.
I want the one. There's actually the one that I sent you. I want that Bart Simpson tattoo.
Dude,
now.
That's really cool. That is a cool tattoo.
With the black light effective,
Yeah.
like the white ink. Oh, it would be great.
Oh, man.
Oh, cool. I'm dead. It would be good on the jammer leg, too.
Oh, yeah. What, jammer leg?
I got a jammer leg going on, yeah.
Oh,
It's got a
right.
shark and a skull on it right now.
Oh, nice. If there was a band that you could be an honorary member of, even if it was just for a tour, who would it be? Like a band, like you had to fill in for a band, playing guitar or playing whatever. Hell, you could play kazoo for them.
Ooh, that's a good question. I would honestly love to. I would love to be like a fill-in for any of like those 2000s era rock bands that were coming out of Canada. So like, not 2000. The Trues were 2000s, but like they have a great guitar tone, and I love the way that their rock and roll sounds. I would love to play guitar for them, but Sheepdogs, another great Canadian band.
Sheepdogs.
Sheepdogs are a great Canadian rock band that I would love to play some tunes for them, but who else? There's the one. What's her name? Fuck. It's slipping my mind right now. Not Maggie Rogers, although she's a badass too.
Mm-hmm.
It's Margot Price.
Margot Price.
She's a country singer. She's a badass.
Ooh.
She's a badass. That'd be a fun thing. Or any country band like that would want me to play guitar, because that's another secret love. Country music.
Right on. I can dig it.
I'll admit it.
But yeah, that answer caught me off guard. I honestly thought you would have said you were sitting in for Dark Star.
No, honestly, I've played plenty of Dead in my life. They do it better than I could. I'm not Jerry, nor am I a Jerry copy.
Well, the other one, I forgot the question already. Oh, best live show you have ever seen. Doesn't matter if it's anything from a local band to like a stadium filling. Like best show you've ever seen.
Dopapod.
Dopapod.
Live at the Capitol Theater in 2018. It's on Spotify. It was such a good show that they released it as a live album.
Really?
It was the single cleanest night of music I've ever seen.
Really?
Very, very good.
Right on. Tighter than tight?
They had just come back from hiatus, and like this was their comeback show. Packs 1,800 person room.
Holy
Energy.
shit.
They were on fire. The solos were great. Rob Compa, the guitarist, was on fire. Eli Winderman, the keyboard player, was on fire. They were all just tight as tits. It was that and Victor Wooten.
Ooh.
Victor Wooten, Dennis Chambers at William Patterson.
Oh, wow.
Shea Auditorium.
That's
that
awesome.
was a cool fucking show.
Was it just the two of them, or did they have somebody else too?
Vinny, whatever, is a very long Italian last name. He's a very great horn, like sax, clarinet type player.
Gotcha.
And it's that trio, and it was fucking fire.
That sounds awesome.
It was a great night. It was so good that, like, my dad, when I usually drag him to shows, he doesn't think too much of it. And he just went, that was a crazy night of music at the end of it. And he bought me the double LP that they put out, Hypnotics.
Oh, nice.
And I still haven't opened it, because that was just such a good night of music.
Yeah. That's not the same level of musicianship, but that was when I took my father to see the Melvins.
Yes.
Because that was my 10th show, actually. They were playing the Stone Pony, because my dad hates New York City. And I'm like, Dad, they don't play Jersey often. I need you to get in the car. And I took him, and by the end of it, he was like...
Flipping it.
Yeah, although the funniest part of the way home was, I'm like, how'd you like that Beatles cover? And he was like, they covered the Beatles because it was so different from the original, he didn't even recognize it. Yeah. And I played it for him on the phone. He's like, holy shit, they did play this, didn't they? I was like, yeah, man.
That's awesome.
Oh, yeah. Actually, you have to know the burden of love. I want you to know, I picked you over going to see the Melvins on March 12th.
Oh, my God.
They're playing the Montclair with Ministry.
You're my... I'm almost partially telling you to give up my tickets to go see that, you silly bitch.
Nope. I gotta go support my fam.
Oh, I love you, man. That's
love
nice.
you too,
That's
bud.
very nice of you.
Yeah, when I was buying the tickets, I realized that. And I was like, I've seen the Melvins 11 times. I'll see them again.
I wanted to see Primus with Ministry. They were doing a slight little tour together. I was like,
That's such an odd lineup.
Right?
Well, actually, the one time... Was that the one I'm thinking of? No, maybe it was. I thought it was Ministry. I think at one of the final Slayer shows, I think it was Phil from Pantera's band, Ministry, Primus, and then Slayer, if I remember correctly.
Yeah.
And I remember I was like, that's such an odd fucking lineup, but it's such a great lineup too.
It's all good. It's all great metal, no matter what you look at it.
There was one tour I wish I could attend from the 80s. I really wish I could have seen. It was like 87, I want to say.
Yeah.
It was Primus, Public Enemy, and Anthrax. And it was the year that Anthrax and Public Enemy dropped Bring the Noise. So the encore every night was them coming out and playing
Doing
Bring the Noise, and Primus would come out, and it's
that
like,
would be fucking cool.
like that's such a unique lineup of.
Right.
But actually, there's a question for you. Is there any dream tours you wish you could have went to? Like, any shows that like you read about it and you go, "Fuck, I should have been alive for that," you know?
The Oysterhead shows, I was pretty bummed out that I didn't get to go see.
The most recent ones?
Yeah.
Oh, right on, yeah.
That's actually the most, because I've seen so much live music, I don't really get bummed out by not going to see shows anymore.
Yeah.
I've been to probably close to 400 shows in my lifetime already, between local, big touring, medium touring,
Yeah.
club shows, that type of shit. But Oysterhead I was pretty bummed out about. I wanted to go down to Denver to go see them play. But then I listened to the recordings,
Yeah.
and I wasn't that bummed.
Okay.
The
I heard-
original first time that they did that when Trey was on a fuck ton of drugs and shit, I'm pretty sure I would have wanted to be at that. And just playing an antler guitar all fucked up on pills.
Oh, yeah. Oh, man. Yeah, Shadow of a Man.
Yeah, exactly.
Oof, such a chilling song.
Exactly.
That song has no right being as good as it is.
That whole album has no right being as good as it is. But
That's true.
It has three of the greatest people from three different areas of rock and roll.
Yeah. It was well done. It was really...
Well recorded, well fucking executed, and the mixing was great.
Yeah. That was one thing I loved about it was you could tell who wrote what song, too. Like, they go, here comes a Trey song, and we're back to Claypool. And look, it's another Trey song.
It's so good.
All right. Oh, man. You know, I don't have too many regrets with music, but especially with like ones I was alive for. But I do look back at some of these other ones, and I'm like, or like, what was the one? It was New Year's Eve, 2000 going into 2001. I was in 6th grade. I don't know who any of these people were,
Right.
but it was Melvin's, Primus, and Mr. Bungle. No, that was '93. It was Melvin's, Primus, Mr. Bungle. That was a New Year's Eve show in California, and it was Melvin's during like the Houdini era. It was Mr. Bungle during the self-titled album when they were still like heavy, and it was Primus during like Frizzle Fry.
Get
Like,
the fuck out of here.
yeah.
That's a killer fucking thing.
Mr. Bungle really throws, or they used to. His label Ipecac used to throw some really
Wild parties.
awesome New Year's Eve shows. Actually, Primus usually does too, but
Oh, my phone. What time you got, buddy?
what was it?
What time is it?
1 o'clock.
Okay.
Yeah, I have one more question for you.
I'm sorry. I gotta worry about the dogs at home.
Gotcha. No problem. Actually, that was the last real question. All I really have is just finalizing the details of the album, I guess. That's what it said. Or actually, no, this is the part, I guess, where I just want you to say, like, where people can find your music.
The plug portion of the...
Yeah, this is the plug, you know.
Okay.
Plug whatever you want.
So, most of my stuff can be found on Instagram at Mike the Gear Nerd, Mike_the_gear_nerd. On Facebook, it's Mike Smith Group. And also on Instagram, it's Mike Smith Group, all one word. I'm going to be having... The album is going to be coming out in spring. I'm not even finished recording it yet as of late because of setbacks, but it happened.
Life happens.
Exactly. It gets in the way. So I'm going to get it fully mastered and everything. I have people lined up. I'm probably going to send it out west to a really cool studio or have it done at barbershop or something like that. Have it just pumped up and get that done. The albums should come out in spring. Probably the end of the spring is where I'm thinking it's going to end up being. It's titled Big Sound, and it's going to be out on Spotify and Bandcamp, I think, for the most part, is where I'm going to stick to.
Nice.
And then I'll have some physical copies eventually available probably by summer. Because
Nice.
this is my first go-around with anything, so, I don't have anything to go off of. This is my baseline, so.
Yeah.
Only go up from here, and I'm trying to do it a little differently now, so.
I don't blame you.
Yeah, I mean, all of our stuff can be found there. All the show announcements coming up will be on Facebook.
Yeah.
Cool.
Awesome.
Yeah, so everything will be found on the internet.
Mike Smith Group, Pandemonium, and Frank Zappa. You're in Zappa Play Zappa, right?
I wish.
Thank you, bud.
Thanks, buddy.
Cheerio.